Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Well, that was terrible. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Stu knows this and Stu knows that, but Steve don't know jack because this is the Electric Football Show.
This is what I deal with, man.
That's Stu Tip. I'm Busta Steve. Bird fight! But it's not. It's more of a silent spring for the bird teams this year. Seattle, the Cardinals, the Ravens, the Falcons. It's like their eggs were affected by DDT and they're all withering inside the little yolks. Seattle gave one away last week.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't get that miracle comeback like the week before.
AP must have been drinking from the fountain of youth. And, we've got a crappy week of football in front of us, folks. I'm like Cam said it best. The Titanic must go on, and so must the Electric Football Show. I got to go Russell Wilson over Drew Stanton, and it's really that simple. I don't know what's happened to Seattle's defense, but they've become mediocre, 13th against the run, 15th against the pass, or reverse that, not putting the kind of pressure they did on quarterbacks, not causing the turnovers that they used to. But I still like them over a Stanton-led old Cardinals team.
Yeah, I mean...
and Frosty got a little feisty, didn't he?
A lot of guys got feisty.
Oh, we're gonna talk thuggish soon.
The Hawks were totally unimpressive on defense against Washington exactly when it mattered.
That's a glass.
I mean, what Washington did against Seattle is what Seattle did the week before. Couple play drive to win the game. AP had his best day of the season for the Cardinals. Brethard was decent, but not great for San Francisco. On paper, the Hawks are the better team, and are you going to take Wilson over Stanton? Yes, you are. You're going to take the Seahawks.
Okay. Speaking of crappy week, we've got the NFC North cellar right now. Green Bay against Chicago. I still like Chicago's defense. I think those Bears do have some claws. If you watched last night, it wasn't even competitive. What's his name?
Yeah.
Hudley is not taking risks. He's not really flinging the ball around.
He's backing up instead of going into the pocket.
He's checking down, and I don't see them developing enough of a run game all of a sudden to dent the Bears' front seven. I'm taking the Bears at home.
Yeah, Hundley's not Rodgers, and the Bears aren't the Lions. I mean, let's face it. The Bears aren't going to score a ton on you here, but the Bears' defense is what I'm counting on here. Hundley was running for his life and not making good plays when he needed to. And you know what? The Bears are coming off the bye week. They're a little well-rested. I'm not in love with Treblinski or whatever his name is here, but I can't remember the last time the Bears beat the Packers, but I'm taking the Bears to beat the Packers.
Well, it's hard to do your best when you got Ziggy Ansah hanging on your feet and you're running for your life. We can play a little game where every time we name a team that has a crappy quarterback, that Colin Kaepernick would be better than we can shout out Cap, because we already would have shouted it about 3 times right now.
Speaking of Browns-Lions.
Browns
Cap!
But luckily for the Browns, they've got Josh Gordon who's coming back, and he's going to bring steady veteran leadership.
Just see his comments that he doesn't remember a game where he wasn't either high or drunk.
Yeah, but everything's gonna be fine. This time around.
Because I'm good now.
How you gonna vote for? How you gonna make a Browns pick this year? It's almost impossible. They're so bad they couldn't even make a trade.
Really?
Even their front office sucks. They couldn't get the paperwork in. Oh my God. So you got Stafford. You've got. Precision strikes to Jones. You got Golden Tate out there, which sounds like some sort of weird sexual thing, but she did a Golden Tate to me.
But baby.
Good receiver. You got big play Slay. I don't see any way the Browns come out of this one.
Yeah, I see a nice big win. I see a nice big win for Detroit. The Browns can run the ball, but they won't be able to keep up with Jones and with Tate. The Lions are the lock of the week. I mean, if you're not taking the Lions this week in a suicide pool, good luck, because the rest of the games are absolutely a coin flip.
There you go. But as others have pointed out the Browns have probably been used in most suicide pools by now.
Yeah.
You want that sure win. You're going,
Yeah, you just hate that they go on a bye because then you can't pick the team against them.
Week 1 Browns, Week 2 Giants, well, I wouldn't have done Week 2 Giants, but Week 2 San Francisco, and by the 3rd week you're going Giants, and the 4th week you might be going Dolphins. Anyway, Steelers come back and they get the Colts, and I won't yell cap on this one, but the Colts did get their win there, but I don't see any. The Steelers have time, cohesion. Go ahead, take a drink. The Steelers have time to work out the Martavis Bryant crap. Big Ben has not had a great year, and they're still winning. There's no way they lose this game. Steelers.
Yeah, Brissett can manage the game, but he's not going to be able to take over this kind of game against a Steelers team that I don't see letting Gore run wild against them. The Steelers, though, should be able to move the ball pretty easily against this team. I'm taking the Steelers.
All right. What do we got? Chargers against the Jaguars. Cap. At least once, maybe twice in this one. Really, what they're screaming around here is Eli.
Which makes no sense.
There's a lot of talk of Eli perhaps going to a reunion with Coughlin and raising up the Jaguars next year. The Jaguars' defense is fierce. They've got a great secondary forming up right now, a great young secondary forming up right now. And I don't see the way the Chargers move the ball on them consistently. I like the Jaguars at home.
Fournette, we don't need no stinking Fournette. Can't go against this Jags D here, especially with the mistake-prone Rivers coming in. This is one of the games where he's going to throw 4 picks. 2 of them are going to be for touchdowns the other way, and they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose big here. I really like the Jaguars. I think they're going to feast on Rivers passing.
Oh, and I like Stu's mentioned there. I love that move. I love okay, we're not going to take any nonsense now. Like, you don't want to show up for the team photo. Like, that's so hard. You have to stand there. Come on.
Yeah.
So I like that they're setting down a little bit of a precedence and trying to change the culture a little bit, because that is definitely one of the ways that teams go from mediocre or bad to playoff contention.
Can't let them run the asylum.
Yeah, no. So what was that? Don't make any inmate comments, but but no, it's true. There comes a point where you have to go. People will test your limits. If you've ever been a manager of anybody, people will test your limits, and at some point you have to go. You just reached it, and here's the punishment, and then they can push it further or not. And I like that they're laying down the law. I think it sets a good tone. Stu, why don't you take the only good game of the week, which is Saints at Bills?
Oh, I think there's one more good.
Oh, there might be one other.
Yeah, there's one other. Unless the weather is out of control, the Saints pass better, the Saints run better, and gosh darn it, they win better. One of the most consistent teams in the NFL right now is the New Orleans Saints. The Bills' loss to the Jets was a bit of a shock. I mean, not terribly shocking.
It was a shock.
But divisional games, you tend to know your opponent better. But it was still shocking. And they could rebound, but I'm taking the Saints, even though it's on the road. Unless it's snowing like a son of a bitch, take the Saints. 6
wins in a row. I'm not going to argue with it. I like Drew Brees over Taylor. Kamara is becoming a great all-around back.
He's the new Sproles.
Well, he's the new Hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's being overshadowed by Hunt and by Ezekiel Elliott. But he's having a great season. They've got a good 1-2 punch there. What's not to like about the Saints, especially with the Bills coming off of a disappointing loss?
Yeah.
Speaking of disappointing losses, Jets and Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay had a little bit of a disappointing loss. And everyone is acting like, Jameis Winston is out. Mike Evans is suspended because Jameis Winston decided it was a good idea to go out and poke, what was it, Marshawn Lattimore.
What was he
in the
thinking?
back of the head. I'm sorry, but if you're not on the field, if you're not a player on the field and you make contact with a player on the field, that should be suspendable because that should start a fight. I don't blame Lattimore for turning around and giving him a push. And then, Evans comes flying in because, that's my quarterback. Winston.
Stupid. It's getting out of control.
It was stupid. Winston is regressing. And without Evans, what do you got now? You got Fitzpatrick. So,
Fitzpatrick in the game.
Going up against the Jets. And the Jets have played well above expectations. I believe they will be able to run the ball. I believe that Tampa Bay, a team that I once again overestimated, is beginning to crumble internally and will not put up a good effort, even though they're at home. I'm taking the Jets. But you could also cap this game.
Yeah, this is a game, that the Jets typically would win. They can run the ball. They're playing better. They're going to be an 8-8 team at the end of the season, I'm sure. But the Bucs are just nosediving. And, you got to question Winston's future here. He's not getting better. I mean, you got guys like Wentz that are coming in and just blowing it up in year 2. And then you got Winston, who is going to be the savior of this franchise. Not. And he's got a decent team around him. They should be better than they are, and they're not. Is it the coach?
Great wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
got his back,
is
obviously.
it the coach? Is it the quarterback? Is it a mix of both? I don't know, but I am taking the Jets here, and to rub one in on their former quarterback, Patrick, trademark Electric Football.
All right, well, Stu's going to rub one in, and I'm going to run one out if the Vikings can beat the Skins.
Is there tissues?
I'm sorry. If the Vikings can beat Washington. Washington, who had a great win last week. Washington, who does scare me with the pressure they can sometimes bring. Teddy may be back. Teddy may be backing up Keenum.
Backing up, yeah.
There's talk of Bridgewater being activated, which is exciting. Our glass statue that was Sam Bradford evidently just shattered completely.
Going back to the IR from what I hear.
But credit to Rick Spielman for GM, in case you don't know that, for getting us the kind of depth we had with Dalvin Cook and then McKinnon. We've got we go 3 deep with usable quarterbacks. We've got wide receivers that come out of nowhere. We've got a defensive line rotation that's gorgeous. I mean, the defense has been playing balls to the wall. Just special defense. And the offense is holding up its end right now. So, exciting times if you're a Viking fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm taking them this time. I never take them, but I'm taking them. We will drink mead in Valhalla.
Skål.
By Odin's beard, the Vikings shall conquer the Native Americans.
To me, this is the game of the week. And caller, you're going to have to hold. We don't have anyone answer the phone. It's an old school matchup, the old Vikings and the old Redskins of the old days. Kirk Cousins' experiment, could really pay some dividends here. And the team, I think the team is lucky to get this opponent at home. If this game were in Minnesota, I might flip my pick the other way. The Vikings' stats are better than the Redskins, but I like what Washington can do when they need to, and that's beat you. And I am going to take Washington and what I think is an upset.
Traitorous bastard!
Bloody take Miami. With good reason.
Bengals at the Titans. And the Bengals continue. The Browns may be the...
Bad?
Oh, God.
Son of a...
What was that?
I don't know.
All right.
Something hit the deck.
Sorry. I thought that was a small terrorist incident. I'm diving behind Stu.
Thanks for saving
Cover me.
I just have to outrun you.
You make a great human shield.
I don't have to outrun the bear, just you.
Yes, there are ghosts in the Cosmo Club. Anyway, Bengals at the Titans, and the Bengals are a continuous embarrassment. The Browns may be the worst team. The Cosmo Club may be falling apart, but the Bengals are the consistently the team that you go, oh, God, I'm ashamed that they're in the NFL. Montez Burfict is a cheap shot artist. Pac-Man Jones. And now you got A.J. Green, who seemed like the nicest guy on the team. And he's punching away. I don't know what to say about, what do they call it in college when you lose control, institutional control or whatever. The Bengals need to sweep some stuff clean. I mean, they really need to, and they need to start Joe Mixon. I mean, you got to start looking at character. You're losing anyway. You might as well lose with nice guys, good guys.
Although, in defense of A.J. Green, on that play, he was really not doing anything. He ran a very slow route because he knew the ball wasn't coming this way. And it seemed to me that he was telling the guy, take it easy. Nothing's happening here. And the guy turns around and knocks him over. His response, I thought, was absolutely ridiculous. And especially this. All you're going to do is break your hand.
Yeah, there's that.
You're punching hard plastic or a shoulder pad. You're not hurting this guy. What are you, stupid?
Well, he didn't start punching. He went with the rear naked choke.
He started with that, but wasn't he doing
this? Oh,
yeah,
he was swinging.
Yeah, on his helmet.
So how do you not get suspended for that?
I don't know. I don't know how one guy does get suspended and the other guy. I don't think Mike Evans did anything worse than A.J. Green, and A.J. Green's playing.
Is it John Runyon now that's in charge of that? Ex-Philadelphia Eagle offensive lineman that used to get the snot beat out of him by Michael Strahan? I mean, wake the hell up. How do you allow that? Like, Evans hit him, but Evans didn't hit him low in the spine. Evans hit him up in the shoulders, and he was ostensibly protecting his quarterback. Green just went nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Green deserves a suspension.
I agree.
Any Bengal that does anything wrong deserves a suspension. And Vontez Burfict just deserves a suspension because Green did that.
I just think it's all bubbling up on Cincinnati. The team is lost. It's been lost for several years. They do. They need to start from the top.
That's a clean house
situation. Just leave the NFL.
Sorry, so we're both picking the Titans, I think.
Oh, yeah. 50 more yards rushing per game than Cincinnati. Say goodbye to Redhead and let's go Tennessee.
Where does he go? Like, seriously.
No, I go. Who's going to want him?
I wonder that. It's a great question. Like, Andy Dalton is talented enough that you might go, we could win with him. Does he accept a backup role next year somewhere? I mean, hell, if you had said to me you could have Case Keenum or Andy Dalton, I would have taken Andy Dalton.
And you'd have been wrong. That's why we're here and not on the NFL sidelines.
So if anybody does happen to watch this and wants to comment, give me an idea where Dalton should go and whether he's a starter in the NFL or not.
All right.
Speaking of Kaepernick, we've got Houston.
At least they've had the conversation.
At the Rams. And, whoa, horsey, whoa, the Rams just ran all over the Giants. There was film. I watched a couple of highlight shows that showed film of the Giants defenders, and they were literally like, I ain't running after that son of a gun.
What is it, 3:30 on Sunday?
Oh, my God. Like, earn your millions. I don't care if you've given up on Ben McAdoo, or Bunchy, as you call him.
Bunchy.
You have to, the film don't lie, and if I'm a GM out there and I see you going like, oh, yeah, he's running past me. I tried, but Stu blocked me. I'm going like never on my team. But you have to like the Rams in this. Gurley has done what I was calling Gurley to do last year, and he did not. Jared Goff has gone from bust to, oh, my God, he's going to be the future of the NFL. Oh, my God, Jared Goff is so good. Did you notice how good Jared Goff is? And that maybe that's just purely the coaching change. I don't know, but it has certainly happened. Nothing for nothing. Goff looks like a 10-year-old. You see him in these interviews?
No, I don't watch interviews.
He's one of those guys that you look like you look at him and you go, how is this man an NFL athlete? He looks like a 10-year-old that would just get broken if, like, I don't know.
He's 24 and white.
He's slight. I don't care if he's white. He's slight. He looks fragile. Anyway.
Can't help you with that.
What's happened to Houston with the injuries has just been savage. And
savage.
You see how special Deshaun Watson is.
What a difference that makes.
When you roll in poor Tom Savage, and maybe he'll have a better week with some time to prepare and all that. But he was the starter at the beginning of the year, and you should be prepared at any time to go in. They do say. So I'm not expecting much more out of him. Except for maybe ducking when Aaron Donald comes flying in. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, Houston's going to wherever the hell the Rams play. Honestly, I have no idea. To face what I think is the most, if not the second most explosive offense in the NFL behind the Eagles. They're either neck and neck on that. So if Indy can beat Houston, certainly the Rams can smoke them. Rams.
Cowboys at Falcons, and as I talked about before, this is not the year of the bird and the Chinese calendar. I kept waiting for the Falcons to wake up, and it hasn't happened. Vic Beasley, come on, the alarm clock is going. Go get the quarterback. But you do have two teams at least that have their quarterbacks intact this year. So,
hooray!
Yeah, woohoo!
Game of the week because they have two quarterbacks.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of potentially three good games this week in my eyes. Mm-hmm. But I don't like the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys will win. What's his name? Sean Lee. One of those guys that when he's on the field, he really changes. He changes the whole defense. Eric Berry's a guy like that for the Chiefs. Once he went out, the Chiefs defense just sort of fell apart. There are a few guys, and they're either middle linebackers or safeties that really are the captains of their defenses. And I'm not saying Sean Lee's the greatest player in the world, but I'm saying his absence is bigger than the absence of his talent.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's there, they're playing some good D.
Yeah.
I like them to shut down the Falcons. I hate to say it, but I like the Cowboys on the road here.
But what's with Elliott? On Mondays he's suspended.
Oh,
on Wednesdays, they're in court, and on Fridays he's declared eligible to play again. Make a goddamn decision. I mean, how often can Dr. Jerry Evil go in there and get this fixed? Every week it's, will Elliott play? Will Elliott play? No, he's suspended. 6 games. Thursday. Maybe Friday. Let him play. But what are we doing here?
More importantly than that, today's an election day. What the hell are the courts doing, spending hours and hours and hours figuring out if fucking balls are deflated or whether Ezekiel Elliott beat up his girlfriend and should be suspended or not? Jesus!
Falcons lost their mojo. I think Dak, and as long as Zeke's playing, can beat the Falcons. I'm taking Dallas.
There you go. Giants at 49ers. I actually like the 49ers to win this one. I don't care if it's Beathard. I don't care if it's Garofalo. I don't care if it's Kaepernick. The Giants have quit completely and utterly on Ben McAdoo, and I don't think anything's going to change that.
Yeah, when you're Ben McAdoo and you say we're going to look at every position, including starting quarterback.
Ray Perkins looks good as a quarterback for not a quarterback. Ray Perkins looks good as a coach for the Giants compared to McAdoo. What was that Jets coach? The worst.
Oh, Rich Kotite.
Yeah, he no longer has worst coach in New York history. Worst football coach in New York history. Kotite is sitting there going, McAdoo, thank you, pal.
Well, did you see the interview where after the game and the reporter asked Bunchy, what did you tell the team at halftime? Literally a few minutes of silence, and he just went,
yeah, he's a carrot.
Never answered the question. He lost the team. It's over. The Giants have no chance. Poor Eli should hope they bench him so he doesn't get out there and get murdered. I am taking the 49ers.
McAdoo's out there with PTSD.
Oh.
It's just sad. Oh. What did you tell the team? I told him I'm packing. I told him someone's got my car blocked in. Could you move it so I can get out of here?
Oh, my God. Suspend me.
Patriots at the Broncos. And there's another team that if they had a quarterback, they'd be dangerous. But, you're rolling out. Cleveland's getting rid of Brock Osweiler, and you're rolling him out. Paxton Lynch isn't ready. Trevor Siemian played above his head for a couple of games and is now reverted to the Mark Sanchez, excuse me. The first throw I throw is going to the other team, get me out of here, style of quarterback. And the Patriots, and the vaunted Denver D has finally collapsed. That will happen when the offense doesn't support you. It just does. No matter how good one side of the ball is, it is a team effort. You need all 3 phases of the game, as they say. And what happens is the defense wears the hell down and then gives the hell up because they're like, when they're going to the offense, get out there and hold them,
Yeah.
So, if you don't like the Pats, I don't know what to tell you. I like the Pats.
If you're going to take the greatest of all time.
Oh, and Cap.
Yeah, Cap versus
in the last
Denver. One. I mean, they're coming off the bye week. All you need to do is give Belichick another week to prepare for you. Like, one isn't enough for this friggin' genius. It's the Patriots, probably by a lot.
There you go.
It'll be interesting to see.
And Stu, what do we end with?
We end with the end of the world here. 31st in offense.
End of the world as he knows it.
31st in offense, check. 29th in passing, check. 30th in rushing, check. More drive-killing penalties than they actually gain, and it's more than any other team, check. In Carolina, check.
Trade away our best player, check. Lose our offensive line coach to coke and hookers,
really?
Check.
If you look at the stats, and
Kaepernick,
Cutler had a decent day, but if you look at the stats, Carolina should have lost to Atlanta, and they didn't. Cam had a quiet day in the air and celebrated every first down like he had an orgasm. But they beat Atlanta. So did Miami. But the Fins' offensive line is a nightmare again. Landry is a play-killing player now. I was screaming, never trade Landry for the rest of my life.
What do you mean he's a play-killing player?
Every time the other night we had a 40-yard quick out to the running back, called back because Landry was holding. It appears to be in every game, Landry does something stupid that kills a drive. We were in the game. We could have won the game had that drive continued, and we didn't. So here's one for your Carolina Panthers to beat the scummy freaking Dolphins at home. And it's national television. 3 embarrassing games in 3 weeks. Fuck you, NFL.
Yeah, how do the Dolphins keep ending up on my primetime?
Because they all thought they were going to be good. Oh, they were 10-6 last year. They got into the playoffs. We suck. Gase has to go. Here's Gase.
I'm sorry. Carolina's doing just enough to win these games. Their defense is carrying them. They will beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins packed it in when they said, "Oh, let's get rid of Jay Ajayi," and he breaks off a huge run.
Yeah, 50-some-odd yard run. Good call.
May have just handed Philadelphia like a championship level team.
I'll tell you what, though. In retrospect, our offense was a lot more cohesive. There was a lot of outs that the backs were able to run. Ajayi wasn't doing his job, but isn't that why you coach people? You're not doing your job. Here's what you should be doing. Or was he that big of a malcontent? Philadelphia, the fans are malcontents anyway, so that he's going to fit perfectly.
I had never heard that there were character issues with Ajayi,
and I hope the Eagles win it all.
Yeah, maybe that's revisionist history after you ship them off.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's electric football.
Wait, a couple shout-outs.
Oh, sorry.
Gio knows. Thanks for asking for pictures. We sent it over. If you're on Facebook and you check,
these were clothed pictures, right?
They were clothed pictures.
Okay.
We're not Harvey Weinstein. Gio knows put up an NFL YouTube's prognosticators Facebook page. It's great. It consolidates everybody into one page. You can see everyone's picks, including yours truly.
Gio is the godfather of YouTube.
He is the godfather, but he's from Canada, so
Yeah, well, he's the
so
Canadian.
what is he like?
He's the Canadian mob. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
he's my godfather, eh?
He
Get the toque on.
He more than anyone organizes this and promotes YouTube pickers. So
kudos to you, Gio.
Yeah, props, mad, crazy.
Yeah.
Canadian props to Gio.
Andrew Warren, who's a constant contributor to our show via either comments and or busting my chops about being a Dolphins fan.
Root beer, baby, root beer.
Half Moon Picks, man. Your graphics and your picks are just fun to watch. I do watch it every week.
Must put the most work into YouTube picking of anybody. We come here, we sit down, we shout at a computer, we drink beer.
Yeah, we read off liquor bottles. I mean, literally, this is our,
He does amazing graphics. He does amazing work. He's helped us out in the past, so Half Moon, God bless you. May Detroit come in second.
And DolphFan316, if you're not the first to comment tonight, I'm going to be very upset with you. See you next week on Electric Football.
He's our research department. Bye-bye, beautiful.